It's echoing.
It's echoing?
Now it's
Hold
not.
on. Now it's not?
I think we're good now.
All right. That was a problem the last time. I'm just making sure I don't have my... All right, you can hear me okay? There's no echo or anything like that?
No, we're good. I was I was hearing myself after I talked, but I
Oh,
think we're good now. So I'm super excited about this. I
yeah?
love your videos.
Don't flatter me this early, because I
Oh,
can talk shit.
okay. All right.
But thank you.
Yeah, I was telling, I would just had that live with Judy, and I said, some people be like, "Oh, I don't believe with Grisch's theory or this or that." It's like you don't have to believe it, right? You may not believe what Leslie says, but like it's fun to just listen to what other people think and try to open your mind a little bit and just think about what if. So, um I think there's something between Sigfredo and Wendi. And I used to not. And then just like hearing your theory about how Wendi was at Trescott before
Right.
the shooting, I was like, I don't know. And then, the more and more I started looking at things, it's all so interesting. There's so much we don't know. So, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's
So, just for anybody that doesn't know me, I'm Leslie B, and I'm not a professional YouTuber. I'm just a person that has followed this case for some time. And this year I decided, you know what? I'm going to make my own YouTube channel. And so I really got started making a lot of shorts, like videos. I was posting a lot of them on TikTok. And TikTok, I just got really burned out on. And then I thought, you know what? I can post these on YouTube. And so it just kind of started snowballing. And then I was like, okay, maybe I'll make a video and maybe I'll do a live. And I hated lives at first.
Why?
True Crime Wifey, I think, is the first time I did a live. And she's the one that was like, you need to talk to Grisch. And
You said that?
True Crime, yeah, she was like, you need to talk to Grisch. And anyhow, so it's just kind of evolved and I love it. I mean, I have a ball with this. I spend a lot of time on it in the weekends, but yeah, I've been enjoying it. And hold on, my dogs are clawing at my office. I gotta let them in.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, so you need to tell everybody about you that doesn't know about your channel because you're super creative and your editing is some of the best I've seen, in my opinion.
I'm Grisch. I'm a visual artist. Here I do YouTube. I edit videos. I edit videos for other people professionally. I do graphic design. I design merch.
Who do you design merch for, yourself or you mean others?
I not so much myself, but others, like for other brands. Like I do a lot of designs and stuff like that. Like from small businesses to like mainstream rappers, and like,
Oh, cool.
So I've been doing this line of work for like about nine years.
Mm-hmm.
Been creative, but like I haven't I didn't really like get into doing what I all right. Okay, put it this way. I've always been creative, but I never really like put any product of my creativity out there until like 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was an immediate reaction to what I was doing. So like I'm very grateful for that. But as far as YouTube, like I've always been into true crime and things like that. but like lately on YouTube, people are doing more of an analysis on court cases and things like that, and the play-by-play to how crimes take place, and that's something I have some experience in. So like I have my background's not it is what it is, but it gives me a certain level of insight with some of these cases.
Mm-hmm.
And I can explain them in a way that a law-abiding citizen would understand, you know.
Okay.
So I think I found my niche in that regard. So it's kind of like I don't have these credentials that a lot of these other YouTubers have, or the degrees and things like that, but I have a certain level of experience. And then as wild as my theories can sound, them shits land.
Mm-hmm.
And it just takes time for people to see certain things like play out.
Right.
So I think I'm starting to build more credibility because like I think some of the things I say are just really just seem so weird to people, like the Sigfredo Wendi thing, but it's not like something I just came up with. Like everything that everyone's saying tells me these people have met.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying anything salacious, like because I think like people think like, oh, because Wendy's like sexually manipulative, that she's gonna be like that with Sigfredo. Doesn't quite work the same way because people that are in the street know there are plenty of Wendi Adelsons.
Mm-hmm.
They're problematic.
Right. I mean, I've
So,
known girls like that in high school, college.
mhm.
Yeah.
So
So,
if you're hyper vigilant, someone like Wendy, they're not gonna fall for that. So I don't
mhm.
think Sigfredo would do anything crazy like that.
So I think where I started thinking, so in the trials, when Katie has testified since she flipped, right? So in 23 and in 25,
Mhm.
Charlie's and Donna's, and she always talks about how they had a few $100s each trip. But then in Lewis's proffer, which I put a lot more weight on Lewis' word versus
Mhm.
Katie's,
Right.
he talks about 5,000 and 2,000. And there is no way with a few $100 they're renting a car, driving to Tallahassee, even staying at the Roadway Inn, buying cocaine, liquor bottles. I mean, you're not doing that on a few $100.
No. No, not the way not by the way they explained it. They were they were buying like coke in increments of like $40, which I probably at that time was like maybe just short of a half a gram.
Mm-hmm.
And that adds up, especially someone that seems like Sigfredo. The way he sounds, it sounds like he can go through that pretty quickly. So, um, yeah, that goes really that can go really fast. But that few $100 and the other things she said, I'm like, oh, she's stealing.
Mm-hmm.
She's stealing, and she doesn't really understand like if she wasn't Sigfredo's woman, whatever, baby mom, whatever, she'd be dead.
Right.
She wouldn't even. It would be a nobody type of case. She would have been. It would just been a picture at her funeral. It's none of that. It's
But and I hear what you're saying, like taking money off the top. But it's like somehow Sigfredo had thousands when they went to Tallahassee, but then she's saying in court they only had a few hundred. Now, why would she lie about that? I mean, I don't know, but it didn't it didn't seem like she was skimming money off in that regard. Now, off the hit money, yeah, I still don't believe that she didn't count it or whatever.
off. All right, Katie. She's skimming money off the leading up to it. Afterwards, I wouldn't say she was. I don't think like she would skim off of that because they have an idea of what she's supposed to get.
Mm-hmm.
But before anything happened, I think that Charlie, via Wendi, gave Katie a certain amount of money to say, we're serious about this.
Okay.
So they gave it to Katie. Katie felt that like the envelope, those like she explained the manila envelope. You don't need a manila envelope for one piece of paper that has a picture and information on a car,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
That manila envelope had money in it. So it's a sealed envelope. She feels the weight of it and it's like, oh, I'll just help myself to this. But the thing
Are you
is,
talking about, wait, are you talking about the envelope that was she put in her diaper bag
yes,
with the instructions and he said, don't touch it?
all that. Don't open it. Don't touch it. But Katie talks about it and talks about the paper. She never says the envelope, only when she describes how she received it. But she only talks about the paper, the paper, the paper, the paper, the paper.
Mm-hmm.
Because the thing with information was on one sheet of paper. But there were a lot of sheets of paper in there that were small and rectangular that all were green. And you see what I mean? She took,
Yeah. Yeah. You'd have to have like a down payment or something.
yeah, absolutely. Like you can't do something like that and just no, it doesn't work that no.
Mm-hmm.
So no.
So fast forward a little bit then to, let's just for a moment go to July when the hit actually happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I just find it a little too coincidental that Wendi is at the food trucks all night or for hours, she says, with her new friend that she's just met. She says this in the ISOM interview, or I think she tells Jane or something. But just happens to be their Prius, that had the GPS built in it, was like a 7-minute walk from there. I still think at some point Wendi met up with them that night before.
What night was this specifically?
The shooting was July 18th. So this was right. July 17th. So the Prius, the data has shown. Mm-hmm. I can pull up the little video. I mean, we don't have to play it, but we can pause it, and that way I can talk through the map. If that's okay.
The Prius had a GPS that was like every 25 hours, right?
Right, but it did mark the car, and then we also get the phone data. Here it is. Hold on.
Are you putting it up on the screen?
Yeah, I am. I'm just, it just takes me a second.
I got you.
Hold on, just give it a sec. Why isn't that closing?
How did you get to the point where you thought that Sigfredo and Wendi had met in person? Was it through like just your own research, or was it like I wasn't part of that process where you looked at a video of mine and said, I think that could be it, or you did
no, a little bit, yeah, but people keep talking about that stare when Wendi walks off after her testimony in 2019, the first trial, and that look that he is giving her, it just feels like they've been there before.
Okay.
But I would say I would attribute like a lot of my thinking was because of you.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. All right, now here we are. So I've circled so you can see the Tallahassee food trucks where it's got the little red dot, and I've got Wendy's picture. Just so y'all know, I never use a super flattering picture of Wendy. It's just part of my MO. And then below, so I've got Sigfredo and Luis Rivera, right? So it shows on Google Maps, it was an 8-minute walk or a 1-minute drive. 12:26 a.m. on 7/18, the Prius was at that spot. And then the Tallahassee food trucks, okay, right there. So the Prius only reported the data, like you said, every 25 hours. So we don't know what time it was actually parked there. But I find that a little coincidental that Wendi is at the food trucks the night before with her new friend. And like, who goes and spends hours at food trucks? It seems weird. And then let me go forward a little bit in this video. Okay. So over there, you've got the food trucks down below, and then Monroe Street, their cell phones ping at these times, 2:21, 3:10 a.m., 6:45, 8:03. There, you cannot tell me that is just another Adelson coincidence.
Hold up. Who? All right.
Yeah. I took all this data from the probable cause affidavit.
From who? From Sigfredo's? This is on Sigfredo's?
I'll have to pull up which one. It might have been on Katie's. But no, I think it's on Sigfredo's, actually. I'll pull it up. And I just was like, there is no way she is in all these places. There's just no way. I'm trying to remember.
All right, so was that Luis's phone at the 2:21, 3:10, 6:45?
I believe so. I'm going to have to pull it up to make sure. I'm telling you, I've been going through these probable cause affidavits. I'm like, okay, this is interesting.
Like that was toward the end when she talked about the food trucks. That was toward the end of her
ISOM interview. Yeah, it's when Jane's there.
Oh yeah. How on earth did this man? All right, the victim advocate, I can understand that. That's protocol. I've never heard of anybody letting their friends in an interrogation room.
I know.
That's wild. That is truly wild.
All right, I'm looking at Sigfredo's probable cause right now. Yeah, his doesn't go into the quite detail of the timestamps like Katie's.
Okay.
But I'm going to pull it up so you can see it.
I wouldn't be surprised if they met up in that way. And because this is what I think. I don't think Sigfredo explicitly let Luis know that he met Wendi, because Luis is that seasoned to know that there's probably there's a problem with that. So if there's not as far as compartmentalization goes, he should not meet her. He should not know her, should not be around her. And the only reason that I think Sigfredo said anything is because said anything to Luis about this period is because the guy that Sigfredo wanted to go along with the George guy, they got arrested that day in June for a burglary charge. He had to give Luis the whole rundown of how this is all going. So I think that Sigfredo gave Luis most of the information, but not the information that would turn Luis off to doing this. And I don't think Luis would have gotten involved in this, because unless that he felt that Sigfredo was just in too deep and he had to do it, because there was something about this case that about this particular job that was, he had to do it.
Well, and he said that they're like loyal to each other, right? They've been friends since kindergarten or something.
Right. And the
so this is
because he got paid for it.
Right. So this is Katie's probable cause affidavit. And I'm just scrolling down a few pages. So talks about the Prius, because it's got that built-in GPS. So the GPS, so here it shows on the 15th, it was at Katie's house, the 16th on I-10, then the 18th, where I just showed you on my map, 12:26 a.m. All right. And that was the 8-minute walk from the food trucks. Okay. Then if we scroll down to the phone data, it's got right here. So 2:21 a.m., 3:10 a.m., 6:45, 8:03, Rivera's handset communicated with cell sites in the area of the Roadway Inn on North Monroe. Okay. And this is all the morning of the 18th. And we know Wendi slips up when she's in there and says, shortcut on Monroe. Yep. And he's like, Monroe. And she's like, oh, Mosaic. She was on Monroe. She met up with them.
I think she met up with him, not them.
You think she met up with... So then was Luis asleep? Because I heard him say at one point, like, he wanted to get sleep, but maybe that was the night before. But Sigfredo had to be wired. He's doing cocaine, right?
They're both doing it. But I think that Wendi going to the food trucks is a way that Sigfredo can meet up with her.
Exactly. That is I'm saying.
Yeah. So like going straight to their hotel room, not gonna happen. It's gonna look crazy. So, and going to her house probably look crazy too. So like if she goes near there, he can have an excuse to leave the room. So like if Sigfredo's like, oh, I'm just gonna go get some wraps or something, you know what wraps are?
Like a sandwich?
Oh no, okay. All right, I'm glad I asked the question. All right. A wrap is like, all right, so they smoke weed, right? So weed is wow. I'll never.
Sorry, you mean like rolling something? I'm sorry.
Yeah. So like,
you can just say it. I'm a white girl. I know.
No, shit. Look, I know some white girls, and they black. All right.
Well, yeah.
They revoked my black card. So don't tell me the white girl shit. Okay. I'm from Baltimore. All white people are different.
All right. Well, I don't. So tell me what a wrap is.
So that card don't work with me. Okay. Now a wrap is like we roll weed up. It's like it's tobacco. It's basically like the outside of a cigar, and you put your weed in there and you roll it back up. All right. So that's an easy excuse to go to the store, because when you're doing other things that are stimulants, something like that is a good reason to go to the store. So he leaves, and exactly, Tater said blunt. Yeah. It's not to get too technical, a blunt is this finished product. Now it's called a blunt if it's the finished product.
I know what a blunt is.
Right. All right. So it's used to roll a blunt. A wrap is the outside of a cigar that's sold as it is to roll a blunt. All right.
I was like, oh, they got the munchies and went and got a wrap.
Nah, not on that.
Yeah,
Not on cocaine. They don't have any munchies.
I know.
But he's trying to just get out the room. So he goes to the food trucks, and that's where they meet up at. I think that Wendi definitely has a burner.
Yeah, well, yeah.
She definitely has a burner. She has a smartphone burner. See, let me just say this. I've said it before, but I have to say it here. Wendy's not the boss here. The Adelsons are not the boss here. The boss in this situation is Sigfredo. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he calls the shots. He has Luis as kind of like not as subordinate to him, but to manage this so they get away with it. All right.
Okay.
But Fredo is the boss in this situation. So I think that I just lost my train of thought. We're talking about weed and shit. And all right.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So let's back up a little bit. Them going to those food trucks, that's probably a good meetup spot. I think that when he gets arrested, they'll have that. Because I didn't read that part of the paperwork as far as
yeah.
And that's from Katie's, right?
Right. So this is Katie's. And let me tell you something. I have watched her interview. I bet I'm not kidding you 50 times. And every single time I pick up something new. So at first she's like, oh, I went to an art gallery. And then, oh, I met this friend and we went on a walk. And then I met this new friend, went to the food trucks. I'm like, what, girl, what are you doing?
Look.
But I think she's covering because she's trying to place like why her phone would be there.
All right. Wendi Adelson. Yes, she's smart. Yes, she's a lawyer. Yes, she's been to law school. Yes, she's been manipulative. But these people are not criminally intelligent.
Right. Well, of course.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Wendi is not that. Charlie, not that. Donna, not that.
Well, clearly.
All right. They can say, oh, they're so smart. The Adelsons, they're so smart. And Sigfredo and Luis are some dumb little buenos from Miami. Listen, let me tell you something. Luis and Sigfredo were able to commit a homicide while under federal investigation for the whole year of 2014, and they didn't know until 2016. So who's the dumb criminal? All right? I'm telling you, that burner phone, I can look at the call records and I can see the voids. And I pointed it out in previous videos. If y'all seen them, that bitch has a burner phone. Oh, and burner phones are like black boxes to airplanes. That's gonna get her. Because people who, all right, if you're doing criminal shit and use a burner phone, you're dumb.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be talking reckless on that phone and saying all kinds of proper nouns, all kinds of nouns, and doing everything because you don't have the discipline to shut the fuck up. All right? You don't need a burner phone.
So did she ditch the burner phone then after the liquor store?
That liquor, all right. Are you talking about on the 18th, the liquor store going to ABC? I think there was more about that liquor store trip than just a bottle of liquor.
Oh. Tell us more.
And allegedly for entertainment purposes only. I have to say that. So
yeah, I know.
All right. So back in 2011, before she divorced Dan, Wendi did a human trafficking paper for the Florida Bar Association with a person named Alan Abramovitz. And Alan Abramovitz is the ad litem or the advocate for children in court cases. So like foster care and all that stuff, custody battles, things like that, right? His office is directly next door to ABC Liquors, and she goes at 12:30, which is the lunch hour of the courthouse.
Okay.
So I'm not saying they met up, but usually if you're doing something and you're trying to get away with it, you do it alongside the things that you have to do that are okay for you to do. So she goes, gets the bullet bourbon. That was her own, I think her own sick, I don't know. But like, I don't think that she went there for just the bourbon and talked to the guy at the register. All that talk with the register about her blue contacts and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I think she did that so they would remember her because she knew that they were going to be asking her about it later, asking them about it later.
100% believe that she was trying to be impactful, right? With the blue eye thing.
Mm-hmm. So like, I think that when they have in the probable, I forgot, I think it's in Donna's probable cause affidavit, they have cameras from not just ABC Liquors, but the businesses on each side and across the street. So if Wendi pulls in to ABC Liquors and she meets up with that other guy, for what reason, I don't know. But he's directly next door. The person that, I mean, think about this. She's divorcing Dan and she's trying to get any kind of leverage in a custody battle.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't you want the guy that's appointed by the Florida governor to be that? To get you some help? Yeah?
Right.
All right. If he works in the courthouse in Leon County, but he's the whole ad litem attorney for the whole damn state, that's going to give you some leverage, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Say after the fact, you think this man who's still the ad litem attorney for Florida, appointed by the governor, would he be able to give you some insight as to what could be going on with the investigation of your case? Right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. She put him on her payroll for a nonprofit organization in August of 2019.
Was this Impact?
Nah. This was some other shit called like it's called something Children Defense Fund.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. It was like her own thing.
Yep, it was her own creation.
I've seen that.
It was started up at her own place, added a couple other people, and then he was put on as a director. So if you're on as a director of a nonprofit organization that gets grants, right? You're getting money. Wendy's just got money from this life insurance. Come on, let's put it together. People don't work for free. I know it says nonprofit.
Mm-hmm.
For about 160 years, not one motherfucker's worked for free in this country.
Right.
So I'm telling you, he was on our payroll for 5 months. And the month that he started being on our payroll was 1 month before Katie and Sigfredo's trial started. I don't know if that's a coincidence. Let me know. But
so then let me ask you this: if they have all this, and I'm not doubting you, this sounds right, why haven't they arrested her?
Because I think that Wendi, if you look at this type of shit, like the nonprofit organization stuff, money involved in that, that's like, if that's what it is, it's as far as like if she's doing it for other things, because like the nonprofit thing is a kind of a basic way to launder money, you know. You put it in a nonprofit, start a foundation, and donate to these people who donate to you. And there's so many nonprofits, you never heard one thing about these people.
Right.
Never hear one thing about these people. Their tax write-offs. So Wendi has this nonprofit that puts a Florida appointed official on her payroll 1 month before Katie and Sigfredo's trial. Like it's right there. So I'm seeing that. I'm just a thug. Remember that. I'm a thug. I don't know shit. You know the feds know that shit. They're going to be looking at that. If I see that, I'm like, oh shit. And he works right there. The feds have to know that. There's no way they don't know that. All those things might be the reason why for Donna's trial, if you look in her probable cause affidavit, there are over 30 federal agents on this case. 30. They don't have 30 federal agents on a case for a federal case. So, I mean, I know Dan Markel, upstanding citizen, a pillar of the community, professor, all that. Feds say, come on now. The feds don't get involved like at this level unless you're doing more than this murder. So the things that Wendi was doing to stay out of jail, which are most likely on the fringe or illegal in some way, they're going to look into it and see who's involved. They're going to wonder. The feds will look at this and say, what's going on with these lapses in time where nothing was handled, like Willie Meggs, the other DA, the district attorney that was above Georgia Cappleman.
The one that was the old Jack Campbell.
Right. The feds are running this case. So I know that Georgia Cappleman and Sarah Dugan, is that her name?
Yeah, Sarah Catherine Dugan.
Georgia Cappleman, Sarah Dugan, right? Yeah. So they're prosecuting this case. The feds are running this shit.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. So do you think this will be in a Florida court, or is this going to be a federal case?
I don't know. And I don't know if the feds will put that much work into a case without it being prosecuted in the federal system.
Well, and I was just going to say, we all know the feds, they go on their own timeline.
Right.
Like, I definitely think this is like, everyone's like, oh, Jack Campbell. I think this is way beyond Jack Campbell.
Oh, remind me, who's Jack Campbell again? He's the DA now, right? Hell yeah, it's above him. It's way above him. Just having, like, imagine if she was a clerk for a federal judge, federal appellate judge.
Jordan.
Yup. He was she has a thing for Cubans.
I think he's retiring. Yeah.
She fuck with, like, not fuck with Sigfredo, but like Sigfredo, what is his name? Alberto Jordan. I don't know how he got that name, but he's Cuban too. She likes Cuban immigrants. I don't know.
She does.
She really does.
So I did a live on this like a couple of weeks ago or 3 weeks ago about that. And some people were saying, so she had interned or whatever you want to call it, like back in the day. And then she did that again when she moved to Miami. And they think she did that deliberately to be in the know.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I think it was true crime wifey. So I want to be sure and give her credit.
I believe that. I think that she knew that whatever she would have to do to figure out what was going on and just be ahead of everything, being a clerk for an appellate federal court will at least get the local police off your back, because they'll look at it. I think, this is my opinion, they'll look at it as like, oh, she's working for this appellate court judge, then, oh, we can't touch her. Or they're not going to, usually the state doesn't try to go above their head toward the feds on stuff. So Wendi bought herself a year. So I think that also gives her the type of connections where someone will tell her, look, they're about to you just
Right.
that's all you need to know. Like, I gotta switch things.
Well, it's on the wiretap that the judge she works for was calling up to Tallahassee because he was friends with Sigstrom, Schustrom, or whatever his name was.
Yep.
But so recently in an interview, Ruth Markel was excited, saying there's some retirements coming up this year. She was excited about it. So I was thinking maybe it's him.
I don't know.
Because he's worked for the government for a long time. He's 60 something. I mean, he would have a very nice federal pension.
Yeah, I think if he retires, I think from Wendy's perspective, Wendi working for that federal judge gets her connections outside of that. So, and it gives her a certain level of credibility, and just because the state will just all right, in a state system, they can have some of the evidence and arrest you. They don't have to necessarily charge you, but try to put you in the box to get you to admit something, right? The feds aren't coming until they got all their ducks in a row. So if the feds show up, it's over. It's over. So I think that in light of that, that's gonna buy Wendi a lot of time. And she gets all those
But don't you think it's running out? Like, her connections are kind of running out because they're retiring?
Yeah. It's not just the retirement thing. It's she has to not just make connections, but maintain them. And each trial, she looks worse and worse and worse. And she doesn't. If you look at, I know you've seen the difference between Wendy's behavior on the stand in 2019 versus Donna's trial recently. She's a lot more. She's not so. The state's in a gun trying to arrest me. She's not going to do that. She's not doing that now.
You think she's going to run?
I think if she gets on that plane, they're going to snatch her up.
Yeah.
And she'll go straight to Israel.
Well, there's rumors that she's there, but I don't believe
Israel?
It's been reported in other chats that people are saying she's there, but I have not seen anything that shows that. Real quick, Tater, you asked how much. So I think Luis Rivera got 19 years, but it got to run concurrent to his federal sentence, and so now he's got 7 years left to finish out for the plea deal. I believe that's right. Yeah. So people say he got 7 years, but really he got 19.
Right.
Then he got to serve it at the same time as his federal. So then some people say it's 7. So
I think the amount of evidence on Wendi is gonna be exponentially just next level in comparison to everybody else. Because like, if the way I look at it, I'll look at someone's probable cause affidavit. Now this is pre-YouTube. This is old Grisch, okay? This is Wild Grisch. So Wild Grisch, I'm not going to talk about myself in the third person. That's wrong. Okay.
I do that stuff.
I don't do that.
I'll say at work, like, you don't want to see Mad Leslie.
Oh, Mad Leslie. Now, I don't like Grisch is. That's not my like nickname or something. It's the letters of my real name just scrambled up differently. That's all it is. So let me tell you. If I have a friend that gets in trouble, I get their paperwork, and out of my friend group, I can figure out what's going to happen. It's been that way before any of this YouTube shit. Okay. So I look at not what they're saying, but the gaps in between the timeline. And that's how I figure out, should I go to wherever, you know, or stop whatever's going on, because or maybe you could probably beat this case because they don't have much on you. Those types of things is what I'm good at. And so when most people look at a trial and they see what Georgia and them are talking about,
Yeah.
I look at I've for my own freedom, I've had to look at probable cause affidavits to make sure that no one named Georgia is putting my name in all bold letters, in capital letters, in some document. It's way different watching something on YouTube versus your name in all caps at the upper left-hand corner of a court document. It's way different. You're reading every word on that page. You're reading it over and over and over again to figure out, how did they figure out what y'all were doing? So Wendy's stuff, when they talked about her Google searches,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't put this in a video, but I'm planning to on my next one, because I had this, you know, for a while. So Wendi, before the Yardbird thing,
Mm-hmm.
New York Patriot lady, your name is Chris G. There you go. Exactly. All right. So, all right. In February, I looked up on Google Trends searches for Sigfredo Garcia. They spiked in February of 2014, a month before the Yardbird.
What spiked?
The search term Sigfredo Garcia.
Oh.
1 week after the Yardbird, the search term Katie McBanois spiked. That fucking beach photo that everybody's all like, Charlie wasn't there, Charlie was there, Charlie wasn't there, all that shit. Google image searches for Dan Markel spiked on June 16th, the day after.
What constitutes a spike?
The amount of searches.
Well, I mean, I understand that, but like, you know.
All right.
Like
So if you take, all right, it goes like this. If you go on Google Trends and you put a certain time frame, the amount of searches for that person between 0 and 100, it figures out like the most amount of searches for a person. If no one's searching, it'll be 0. Mm-hmm. So you can look up a certain geographical location, Tallahassee, and say, how many searches were there searches for Sigfredo Garcia? And in February 2014, and then Catherine McBanois, March 2014, spikes up.
Right.
Tallahassee. These people aren't from Tallahassee.
Mm-hmm.
So then the day after that beach photo, of Google images, not a regular search. This is pre-murder, okay? Google images. The day later in Miami, searches for Dan Markel. So why were they looking up pictures for Dan Markel in Miami?
Right.
Maybe there was a problem with the paper that Kitty was supposed to give to Sigfredo, and they maybe need to print out another one before she went home.
Wouldn't you love to see that paper?
Yeah. So, can you ask Grisch? I'm not Dominican. I'm not. You're close. You're close. No, I'm not Dominican. I'm not Puerto Rican, but you're very close though.
You Cuban?
There you go.
Part Cuban?
All right, what makes you say I'm part Cuban? Because I'm black?
No, I mean, we're all
Cubans are black, yo.
We're all a mix of something. Oh my God, this is so nice. So just
my mom's black.
I have a very hard. Your mom's black? Okay.
Yeah.
I have a very hard time receiving. That is super sweet. Thank you. I'm a terrible gift receiver. Like my love language is giving gifts. Like I love that.
I don't know what my love language is. I looked it up and I forgot what it was.
So wait, I want to go back a minute. I think it was Murder by Maestro. He put a comment in and said that Sigfredo Garcia is named in P. Diddy's stuff.
P. Diddy
as a hitman?
Nah, you gotta. All right, you say.
I know somebody needs to.
You got to get the. I'm gonna go on Pacer and look this shit up. So
that's what he said. But is Sigfredo Garcia a common name, like James
Hell
Smith?
Nah. Hell no. Like Sigfredo. Like, all right.
He put that in the comments, and now I'm like, wait, what?
Sigfredo, like that's kind of a I would say, well, okay. Garcia is like I think in America, the most common last name for Latinos.
Yeah.
It's up there. But Sigfredo, I never really heard of anybody named Sigfredo.
I'm trying to find something on this. So here it is on Reddit. Sigfredo Garcia named in latest Diddy lawsuit per Jesse Weber's sidebar on Law and Crime.
I'm not going to say anything unless I see the document, but I just
hold on. I'm going to pull
I think some people are out here just trying to get money off Diddy.
But focusing on the big.
Well, I want to pull this up in my YouTube. I got to think about this. Can someone send a document or something on that? Source, Tallahassee Democrat. Why am I not able to click these links? It's not the same guy. People getting clicks and views on this misinformation.
That's the downside of YouTube, because people, they can say something and it'll be like, oh, Wendy's get arrested by Thanksgiving, and then next thing you know, you had your turkey, you're throwing out leftovers, the bitch is still out on the street, and then they already have the views for it and they already got paid for it.
I know. Well, poor Judy made a bet that she would go on YouTube in a bikini if she's not arrested by the end of the year, because everybody was saying Thanksgiving.
Wait, what?
Yes.
Who
Judy did.
Who put her up to that?
Loophole lawyer. Let me tell you something.
Of course.
That would be a really bad bet.
Oh shit. Hold on. Run the bet back to me again. The
bet.
He bet her.
Judy from AA Legal Focus and Loophole Lawyer. Do you know who they are?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So they do this like banter thing on Tuesdays, and they made a bet. So Loophole, he likes to say, oh, Wendy's innocent and all this stuff. He just does all this stuff for clicks. But he says she's not going to be arrested. And Judy said she is. So they made a bet. And if Wendi is not arrested this year, then Judy has to go on YouTube in a bikini. And if Wendi is arrested, then loophole, I think he's bald and he always wears a ball cap. He has to take his hat off. I'm like, that's not fair. He needs to be in a Speedo on a treadmill. But yeah. Anyway. So, but wait. But wait, can we just go back? I just have a few.
Yeah,
I'm so glad to have your attention because I just have a few questions. So let's go back to the day of the hit. And I know it is your theory that Wendi watched it go down like in the bushes or whatever, and then notified via the burner phone because we know Sigfredo calls Katie and Katie says, I know, correct?
Yeah.
And there's like an hour and a half time that Wendi is unaccounted for at the Aqua Ridge and all her phone activity, correct?
From what I understand, yes.
Okay, so let's go back to the proffer. When Lewis talks about walking down the street and he saw, now this is the day before, I know, but he saw Wendi and the boys. Do you think that's true?
Yeah.
So I do too. And everybody, and I get really mad when I watch the proffer and Isom is like, oh, so it was just like before noon. And so everybody likes to say it was noon and people say Wendi didn't have the kids on Thursday, but she did because she got them on Wednesday night. But it had to be early in the morning, correct? Right.
All right. Before you go into like the daycare and all that stuff, I'll tell you this. If someone lies about something, you have to think about why, what would the truth say about them? So like Luis saying that he saw Wendi on Trescott on Thursday, if that were a lie,
right,
what would it benefit him? What would the truth do to him negatively? Because if he's lying for some reason to benefit himself or anybody else, why? What would be the negative impact if it were true that he did not see Wendi?
Right.
Kids. All right. There is no benefit. He just Luis is. I wish he wasn't a rat, but goddamn, this man's gangster level is. He's next level. He is super gangster. All right, short, fat Puerto Ricans are fucking scary. All right, I'll tell you that now. If they're short and they're fat and they got money, you'll be a victim of circumstance. I'm just letting you know that short, fat Puerto Ricans, there's something about them that make them like there's shit. I'm telling you. Listen to me when I tell you. Those niggas like him are something else.
Right.
They're different. If he's Puerto Rican, he's short, he's fat, and he's getting money. And he tells you something, that's what it is. I'm just
right.
Just take my word for it. I don't have a academic journal on this shit. I just know that short, fat Puerto Ricans who get money are about some things. So like, he's not lying about that.
Yeah, why would he? But so I pulled up the stipulation. You've seen this. This is mentioned in Katie's trial. The stipulation and I cannot find the freaking video for the life of me, but I've seen it. But it's a stipulation and talks about the times the kids were dropped at daycare that week. Have you seen this? I put the document up. So on Thursday, July 17th, Wendi dropped the kids off and it says at 8:30 a.m. But I know Lewis says in the proffer Now, y'all can think I'm crazy, but I'm telling y'all, I put all this stuff together. He says it was early in the morning when they were over there on Trescott, and he saw her and the boys. And then Isom kind of interrupts her and is like, it was before noon. And he's like, yeah, well, that would be before noon. So I think she was over there scoping it out or gonna meet up, show Sigfredo the house, something. I don't know. Does this make sense?
It makes sense, but I think that there's more to it than that. Like when
Well, yeah.
Wendi, whatever Wendi and Sigfredo do, it has to be in such a way that Luis is not catching on to it, right? So if I thought there was a point where Sigfredo and Luis were, this is in Sigfredo's probable cause, where they walked past the street behind Trescott and they walked over and fell in the
The
water.
Ashford Apartments.
Yeah. And I was like, that's weird. Like, why would they go in the water like that?
Mm-hmm.
And excuse me, I can only think of like a possible dead drop.
So do you think that she dropped off the money? That's what she was doing?
Maybe. I thought about that for a while, but would I trust Wendi to dead drop me some money? No.
I'd probably trust her more than anyone else over there in that group.
I just wouldn't. There's dead dropping money. It's kind of like it's super high risk. And the only way that I thought that it was dead dropping is because the means in which to get it, you'd have to fall into some water or some weird shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And there, I don't think there was if she were to do that, it would have to be because Sigfredo told her, you know, she can't dictate the terms of what goes on. So I think that whole day before thing,
Mm-hmm.
those days before are like something I think about a lot. And I think that Wendi may have told them about the shortcut through the Ashton Apartments.
Yeah, there it is. Ashford Club Apartments. I just pulled it up on the
There you
screen.
go. But I also think that Luis knew about that shit the month prior. Because everything that Luis says about the things that they did, he skips over things that they did during the day. He'll talk about, oh, we just partied and drank all night. Now, the feds and the police that are sitting there will accept that shit. I wouldn't accept that shit. Like, if you're going to go to kill someone, the most important thing is getting out of there. Right? So you're going to learn I think that they were rehearsing this all through, like when they went there in June, they picked up that down payment money and they were just driving around finding ways to get onto this to the freeway back to Miami. That's all that they were doing during the day. Mm-hmm. And then they would go back and party. They were practicing that whole time. It wasn't a failed attempt. They weren't trying to get him then. Get Dan.
Yeah. The whole we lost him following his Honda Accord. I'm like, what?
We didn't lose him.
I know.
We didn't lose shit. They were figuring him. They were learning him, and they were learning how to get out of there. So in July, it was the same thing. I think it was like we're practicing on the 16th, 17th. But I don't think with the dropping off money, I kind of thought that for a little while, but then I wouldn't trust that bitch to drop off money and it'd actually be there.
So let me ask you this. Where did Wendi go and get all that cash? Is there a record of her withdrawing it?
They don't say there's a record.
No, but I'm going to tell you something I've caught recently.
Uh-huh.
Y'all are probably like,
Do tell. I want to know.
Yeah, no, right? Like, I mean, y'all have to understand, like, my mind never stops. I mean, like, I'll wake up and I'm like, yeah, I just did my whole business plan in my sleep. No, I'm serious. It's like I have now realized at 51 years old, I'm just different. In the first trial, Georgia asks Wendi, do you have a stash of cash? Is there a Wendi stack of cash in your parents' safe?
A Wendi stack.
A Wendi stack. And she goes, I don't have a stack of cash. And that is the only trial Georgia has ever asked that. But I'm like, you know, Georgia doesn't ask stuff for the hell of it. She's asking it for a reason.
Yeah.
And I have always thought there is something to that.
I agree. Georgia she's a nightmare for a defendant. I'll tell you that much.
Let me tell you something. If we had YouTube back when I was growing up and there was a Georgia Kaplan that I could have been inspired by, I would 100% be a prosecutor. But anyhow, that whole, when she asked about the stack of cash, and just anyone else remember that from the trial? I mean, I rewatch this stuff. I would rewatch Wendi's testimonies over and over. But Wendi's like, yeah, no, but Wendi lies, you know? I mean, one minute she says she didn't get threatened with FBI or federal kidnapping charges. And then the next trial, she's like, yeah, I did. She lies. Wendi Stack. It is in the first trial when she is on the stand. Anyway,
how long when did you first become interested in this case?
Charlie Adelson, Kate. I believe I saw on social media, and I think it was probably Instagram or Facebook because that's what I was more into at the time. But I saw some clips of Wendi on the stand, like testifying, and I thought, God, she is so lying because she was talking about changing the boys' names. Because I just thought, wow, that is low. And then I just kind of got hooked on it. And I started following other YouTube channels and all this. And I was like, I would make my own little short videos just for my own entertainment. Yeah. I used to have like an Instagram channel, not about true crime, but I would do like closet confessions. And it was like mom of a teenage boy kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And then all these moms were like, oh my God, we love your channel. And I would be around Nashville and people come up to me and say, oh my God, I follow your Instagram. But then my son was like, Mom, this is embarrassing.
No, hold up. No, that wasn't embarrassing to you. You know that's not true.
No, not for me. But I mean, I would go out and like be recognized or whatever. But he was embarrassed. So I stopped doing it because I did not want to embarrass my child. I stopped. And so anyway, I've just kind of been itching at, I guess, doing some things. And so here I am now with the Adelsons. So, but I'm telling y'all, when she asked about
things, acting like you'll be embarrassed if someone recognized you for your content. And like, if you went out,
I wasn't embarrassed. No, I was like, I would have clients come and meet me and they're like, I just want you to know, I know who you are. I follow you on Instagram. But when my son came to me and just said, Mom, it's embarrassing. Because like his friends would be like, oh, hey, Miss Leslie, my mom loves your Instagram. He just hated it. So,
but it's not like you're doing anything crazy.
I wasn't, but you know how it is. As a teenager, it's just awkward.
That part I can understand. I've never been like, from YouTube, recognized from YouTube.
Oh no, on YouTube, my bestest friends in the world are like, what do you do? What does that mean, go live? They don't even understand that you can watch stuff on YouTube. They don't understand.
Oh, I see. Not off YouTube. I haven't been recognized in real life off YouTube.
You have?
Have not. No.
Oh yeah. No.
No one's come up to me on based on YouTube. Off Instagram, like years past.
Yeah.
Kind of. Like look like kind of like where I live now, like yeah, but not like on some like I seen your
Yeah. I don't think anybody here would recognize me from YouTube. I mean, no one would know, which is kind of why I like it in a way. And you have to understand, when I was doing the Instagram stuff, like my son was at a private school, like a very small little close-knit group. And you know how Instagram is. It's like, oh, you should follow Leslie and this and that. And so it's not like a hard thing, but it was funny. I used to do spoofs on bloggers, and then someone's like, that blogger's going to sue you. And see, I have a whole past life.
Oh,
but
see,
anyhow, yeah.
All right, that's okay. I see what you mean. I'm not. Never been recognized off of YouTube.
No,
like,
but YouTube, it's different.
If I would kind of just be like,
yeah,
I would kind of be like, oh,
you look like the lady in the courtroom at Donna's trial in those glasses.
No, that is the lady in the courtroom. She's just like this
in the ski goggles. God love her. I know.
I wanted to know her story. The lady in Donna's courtroom with these glasses on.
Well, Rebecca, who I got on the screen, she was there. And didn't you say, now maybe I could be wrong, that she had like sensitivity to light? But one day she had normal sunglasses. Yeah. And then the next day it was like full on ski goggle.
Yeah. She had the big Smith goggles.
Bless her. But older people, like, they can have macular degeneration. They can have all these sensitivities. I'm sure the lights in there are not friendly. They're those fluorescent things. See, Evan Elizabeth, I agree with you. She says, I've always thought Wendi paid Katie $5,000 for the first hit that failed. I don't know that it was really failed. I think it was kind of like, I'm good for my money. Here is something. Go have your whatever, do your coke, meet up with Shadrick.
Shadrick, I feel bad for him, but I agree with that. I just think that Wendi only did that because the money that was meant for Sigfredo never got to him. That's my opinion. And I can't wait. I cannot wait when this all comes crashing down on Wendi, where they have even more precise information of her meeting up with him or communicating with him and Googling him.
But I mean, Lewis in the proffer, he talks about how they had, I added it up. They had already spent like $600 or $800 on cocaine and liquor and all this stuff.
I think Katie does not know that Sigfredo got that money from Wendi. He's never gotten, she's not privy to that information.
No, I agree. I really don't think Katie was in the know that much. And I just don't think she's that bright. I'm sorry. Like, every time I hear any of her conversations, nothing is in a complete sentence.
No, it's not. Like, Katie, during her proffers, I don't know who was interviewing her, but it was horrible to listen to. Like, they're talking over each other. And someone like Katie, all right? Someone like Katie who's adjacent to illegal activity, all right? Who's adjacent to it. She's not really with it, but she knows what's going on. And she's doing something that's like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And she's not supposed to be doing that. Just let her talk. Shut up and let that little bitch talk.
Right.
Because all she does is talk in circles.
I know. She gets nervous.
She talks in circles, and the more circles she talks in, the more ovals you see out them shits. And then it's just like, you've been stealing. You've
So
been taking money the whole time.
right. Yeah. So I want to bring this up. Psychology of true crime. She says, in case Leslie misses my comment, remind her to look into how they wanted the kids' DNA. So I had not heard that comment until this most recent trial in Donna's, when Wendi says, yeah, they wanted the boys' DNA and they never gave the DNA. And I can go conspiracy theorist, but I think there is something to why they don't want it.
I remember that.
And there's also been trials where Georgia will ask her, are they your biological children? Or they're Dan's? And then she quit asking that. I don't know. I'm not saying I don't know anything. I'm just telling y'all what I hear.
Wait a minute. Did she ask that question in a previous trial?
She sure has. I think it was Sigfredo's in 2019. I'm telling y'all, there are some gold nuggets you go back and rewatch.
I go back every once in a while, but I just can't stand Wendy's voice. I feel like I've seen enough of her. And then you come out with this food truck shit, and I'm like, damn. Like, I really thought I was super obsessed with this case and I had like everything down, but damn, I guess not. And
that's what I'm saying. Like
the DNA shit.
Rebecca,
normal.
The DNA thing is weird. And why wouldn't Wendi give that? Like, why wouldn't you? What's the harm in it? What's the problem?
I think part of it is just normal. Like they will ask for DNA, but
yeah, and no, it is normal.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe she. Do I think that she's ever cheated on Dan? Yes. Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
But having a kid with someone else while being with Dan, no. I think that Wendi was with Dan for what she wanted from Dan, which is his genetics. All right.
Well, of course, yeah. Good Harvard DNA.
Her little podcast thing, her little writing class.
Mm-hmm.
The DNA thing, I think, by submitting DNA, you have to appear in the police station. You have to actually go there, and I think they just don't want to be there. I think that's the reason.
I don't know. It's just so Christopher DeCoste apparently asked Wendi about that in 2022. Says Psychology of True Crime. So I love watching him. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that. But yes, Georgia asked.
I like Chris DeCoste too.
Yeah, you need to watch. I'm telling you, they ask about the Wendi stack of cash. Are they Dan's biological children? It's interesting. Do a video on DNA. Here's the deal. I want y'all to know, and I don't mind talking about it on a live, which I know is there and anyone can go and watch it. But I do think about those boys, right? And the Markells. And if I do like a short video like about the DNA, I just don't feel totally right about it. I just don't. I don't know. I'm torn on that.
I think those kids are Dan's biologically.
They look real different. Have you seen the picture of them at the Baylor graduation?
Nah, I only saw the blurred one.
Oh, I've got the clear one.
I'm you know what? I don't know. Like, I think I just don't. That whole DNA stuff, like in a Maury Povich context, is not. It doesn't really do anything. Like, I think that.
But see right here, what Forensic RNN wrote, it might have to do with the life insurance. It may not pay.
Well, there you go. That's something that would definitely.
That's the motive.
That would definitely change my mind, considering that. Yeah.
So the youngest one looks just like Dan, And then the oldest one is like Charlie's doppelganger.
So what are you saying?
I'm just saying. Look, I have met siblings that they look very different. I've met siblings that look alike. I just find it, I don't know. It's just something to think about. Tally gal, is that a bad thing? I know I'm something. I mean, I hope not. I hope to God they are his, because I think it's devastating. I don't think this family needs any more devastation.
Nah. And is George still around?
Yeah, she's still dating George. They're in Austin.
Is small bus stupid.
Mm-hmm.
He is patriot. I don't think that. I think they have a weird relationship, but I'm not gonna go on this.
Yeah.
But I think I think Charlie and Wendi have even just in photos, they look weird. Like just like the way that they take pictures together.
I know, like a couple. I know they're just very
damn near like a couple. But George.
Yeah.
George Estrada.
Oh, the teeth. But Wendi is one of these girls.
Before the teeth, bro. Run.
He could be. Oh yeah, no, I know.
Run.
But listen, Wendy's one of these people. She likes to have not attractive friends, not attractive whatever, because she looks better.
All right. What's your, from a woman's perspective? What level was Dan Markel looks wise?
I mean, I think he's cute. I would say cute. I would just. Oh, that's where I would leave it. I think he's cute.
That doesn't sound convincing. Like that. Like he's cute.
I mean, he's cute. So I like tall. I'm 5'9", so I like, I mean, he looks just kind of smaller, but
how tall was he?
I don't know how tall he was, but the oldest boy is really tall and looks like Charlie, and then the younger boy is shorter and looks just like Dan. So, yeah, but I feel like Wendi, like think about her friends. Think about what's her face, Tova. Yeah,
look, that's all right. I'm not that shallow. I'm not, me personally. I'm not that shallow. Like, I look at, of course I care about how a woman looks, but if she's not like intellectually have something going on, I can't do it. I just can't. Like, if I can't hold a conversation with you, I just can't. It just doesn't work. So like,
right.
I think that just looking at looks wise, all right, Tova, not very good looking. Who else were her friends? Jane and the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Wendi is subpar. Like Wendy's not. I saw who's the guy that's always on STS? He's a lawyer. He has brown hair. He's probably like 50-something white dude. Just like got the little
Dave Ehrenberg.
Nah. He's got brown hair.
Steven Webster, brown hair.
Jansen.
Oh, Tim Jansen.
Jansen. This fool said she looks mesmerizing. What the?
That's what people say, that she's like intoxicating.
No, she does not. No, she does not. I'm sorry. Like, just no, fuck that. Like, Wendi is all right. If I walk by her somewhere, I wouldn't say mesmerizing or intoxicating. That bitch is sobering. Like, no, like, just, I can't even think straight. I couldn't imagine calling that bitch intoxicating in terms of looks.
But I don't know if it's just her looks. I think it's like this, like sexual energy or something that she puts out. That's
Oh, those blue contacts. That's what gets them. That's the
I'm not
first
saying
sign
I agree
someone's
with
not
it.
gonna lie to you. That's the first sign someone's gonna lie to you if they're fucking wearing colored contacts.
Well, I went to the eye doctor recently, and they said there's only one manufacturer left of colored contacts.
Yeah, because people want the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Like I mean, I know a dude that we were kind of friends, but he's like maybe a shade darker than me and wears blue. He's been wearing blue contacts for almost 20 years. Like, I don't know how he's fooling these bitches now, but he's still somehow out here making girls think that he has blue eyes. And he's an identical twin with brown eyes. It doesn't make sense. But like, first sign someone's about to lie to you. Wendy's not mesmerizing. She's not intoxicating. That bitch is sobering. She's really skinny. And I personally think Wendi, on the surface, likes dudes like Dan Markel for her own personal reasons, deals with dudes like George Estrada because to get things out of them. But she likes Nigatinos, okay?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Dudes like Sigfredo. I know he's light, bright, and everything.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I think she hooked up with him. Like, that's her type.
That's her real type. There
It
are
is.
Wendi Adelsons around, and they stick out like sore thumbs.
Mm-hmm.
She likes that. She likes the scary type of,
Mm-hmm. And I'm just gonna say, I could see her wearing that Holocaust ring, getting it on with Sigfredo, and that would be like the ultimate high to her.
Yo, you know what? That's crazy.
But I mean, that's Wendi level. I'm telling y'all. I know somebody like her.
I believe you. And like those type of, they get over on certain dudes, but like there's something about them, like the Wendi Adelson types, who for the public they will, they like a certain dude that will help them in terms of like getting ahead in life. But after 5 p.m., she's texting me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm
right.
I know this. And dudes like Sigfredo know better than to deal with that. And that's what will make Wendi even more into it, because she's not used to being told no.
Well, and we know, I mean, think about what Jeff said. How she he's like, I mean, she likes to be told what to do. And she would come back from these Coca-Cola things with slap marks on her ass. I mean, the girl is into some kinky stuff.
Coca-Cola? Are you talking about like Coca-Cola or like?
Like Coca-Cola, like the drink. She's a Coca-Cola scholar. And so every week they do every year, sorry, they do a Coca-Cola, like they all get together and basically it's a party.
Okay, like Coke
She
Scholar.
goes to Atlanta and whatever. And I think all the Coca-Cola scholars get together, but it's where she would like go get wild. And that's what Jeff talks about in his March 2015 interview.
Yeah, I remember that. Jeff is a hero.
I know.
I hate to say it, but like, he's known for being the ex-boyfriend of someone like Wendi Adelson, and it's gonna have to stick with him the rest of his life. He's imprinted on YouTube forever. But at least between him, well, just mainly him, when it comes to like really understanding what Wendi, that boy good. Tamara Demko.
Oh, she's amazing.
I love her.
She's amazing.
I think when I was watching that interrogation, my girl's like, you think she's like, you really like her, don't you? Look,
Because she's smart.
She's so like I can tell like she was like figuring stuff out, and like the way she was just like trying to get her words together to break things down. I was just like,
so you want to hear this? This is craziness. Yeah. So I wanted the Tamara freaking Demko interview. No other. There's only one person on YouTube that has it, who I'm not going to name. Yeah, and that person doesn't like things to be. And I was like, why? What's going on? So I do a FOIA request, and Leon County keeps emailing me. This interview does not exist. This interview does not exist. I'm like, oh, it exists. Because let me tell you one thing about Leslie. Leslie loves a challenge. So I'm like screenshotting. Well, you know what it is? It is timestamped on the video as July 19th. Wrong. It was July 20th. It was after Dan's memorial service is when Tamara drove straight to the Tallahassee PD. So I put all that in there and explained it. Didn't hear anything. So then Spill the crime tea says, here's the state attorney's email. Email them. So I emailed him and said, look, what's going on with this video? You know, nobody's turning it over to me, and I know it exists, and here's the deal. And literally 48 hours later, it was in my email box.
Look.
Do you find that weird?
I have to applaud you for that.
No, I was like, I will drive in my car. It's 8 hours to Tallahassee. I was ready. Yeah.
You know what? I'm just gonna say this is off topic, on topic. If you get official documents from a FOIA request and you put them all on YouTube for, for people to see, and you put watermarks all over those shits,
say it. Yes.
Use a bitch.
That's right.
If you take official documents and talk about a case that people are interested in, and you read them as opposed to showing them as you read them because you don't want other YouTubers to use that document.
Yep.
Bitch.
That's selfish.
If you got one more. If you don't read it yourself, but you get a younger female to read it because you want more views, use a bitch. Yep.
Exactly.
And I'll tell you this. If I got documents on a FOIA request, I filed FOIA. It's called a FOIA. It's FOIA.
Yeah, it's
Canada.
Freedom.
Canada. You know what? It's going on a Google Drive. I don't hide it. I divide it. It goes to everybody.
Exactly. So you will notice if you ever go to my channel, like I have put all these probable cause affidavits up, whatever I get, I'm putting them up. I'm not watermarking. I mean, it might have my little logo in the top right, because are we not all here for the same purpose?
Right. That's the shit that like really, I find crazy. Like,
and then when people go and lock it up behind a paywall, that's some BS. I'm not doing it.
If they lock it behind a paywall and put a whole bunch of watermarks on it.
Yeah. And then you go and tell people you need to take that down because I got that. That's BS.
You know what? I asked someone, I'm not gonna say their name, for a certain document that I can't get if I really I could I've done this shit. I'm not a lawyer. I've literally done this shit for shit way before YouTube. Okay. So I know how to word things. Okay. So can you send me over? Come to find out, 2 of my videos are on their fucking Patreon. You put my shit on Patreon?
Wow. It's wrong.
Look, this is the type of shit that like annoys me about like YouTube. I'm not competing with anybody.
Exactly.
I just do what I do. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't.
Yep.
But I'm fucking dope. I put a lot of work into my videos, but there's really no work after you receive documents. Once you have documents, but you don't want to share official records because you want to be the source by watermarking them all over the place. Guess what? I'm a dope ass graphic designer. I'll make your logo disappear if I want to. I have.
Yeah.
So, shit. Like,
yeah, it really irritated me. And that was part of my fire to get this going. I was like, you know what? Anyone can do a FOIA request. Okay.
Right.
It's not that hard. It takes effort. But it's like anything, 80-20 rule, right? 20% of the people do 80% of the work. And that's just how it is. So I can put it all out there and show people. I mean, if they want to go make something with it, go for it. But
right.
aren't we all here for awareness and justice? Or are we here to try and make money?
Exactly. Because I can talk.
Well, I think we all know who we're talking about, Rebecca.
But I mean, we might be, we might not be.
We may not be.
Not mutually exclusive. But I look, you could have as many subscribers as you have, all that shit. But like that, for me, someone that's from from the other side of life, as some say, altering official documents.
You're not supposed to do it.
You're not supposed to do that. And you know what? In certain states, it's illegal.
That's right. Loophole lawyer even called the person out and was like, you can't do it. Like, it is a free thing. You can't do that.
I mean, people do it, but
let me ask you this. A couple people are shouting out Gigi, and I do want to say she is the bomb. I met her at CrimeCon, and she is authentic, and she is real, and she is amazing. But I do want to also call out something. Gigi, Pretty Lies and Alibis.
Oh, yeah. I like her.
Let's also remember when the Jeff Lacoste 2015 interview was first out there, it was very edited. So Grisch, who was protecting Wendi? Because they pulled all that out about how, they're reeling off all the 9 men she's been with and the ass slap marks and all that. And then a lot of people started following this case, and people are like, well, I'm going to FOIA this interview. And all of a sudden, everybody realizes Jeff Lacoste's interview has been very edited. So why was this person editing that? Why was Wendi being protected?
Well, was the video submitted to this person with those things taken out?
Not if it was a FOIA request.
If it's a FOIA request, they can omit certain information. It'll be redacted. It'll be like the screen will be black for a certain amount of time.
Yeah, no, it was just edited and like they cut out the Wendi stuff. Then the case got, got hot. And so other people FOIA'd it. And then all of a sudden, I don't know what it was, last year, a little over that. Everyone's like, oh my God, Wendi is like a hoe bag.
Well, I think that they may not have, I'm talking about the authorities, they may not have included that until later. They can decide not to give you the information you're requesting. They can redact things if they want to. Especially, it's technically ongoing investigation. They can do that if they want to. But like, if this person received this with all, the Jeff Lacoste booty slapping shit, like, and he decided not to put it in there.
Look what Rebecca wrote.
But I don't know if it'll be protecting Wendi, but maybe he didn't want that stuff on his channel.
No, because now they got it all out there.
Right.
But was it like saving it for something? I'm just saying.
I think a lot of stuff with Wendi in terms of salacious details, I think that it's understandable for the authorities to not want to release that information. So before I go say use a bitch for doing this or that, I think that's the authorities would clamp down on that.
I don't think that Leon County edited the video. I think this creator did. I don't have any proof of that, but
I think, all right, if all right, so let's say that were the case, I would think that if it were to be shown on YouTube, it may not be what that specific person wants on their YouTube channel.
mm-hmm. But now that everybody's got it, they don't mind putting it out there.
Is that what happened?
Yep. Just saying.
I don't know, but I do know that maybe I mean people do like to hold on to things because they want to be the source of certain information. I can't say, I can't give like an honest like assessment, like not assessment, but an opinion on why they would or wouldn't do that unless I really knew what details they got. Because I don't mind stating my opinion, but my opinions are based on facts. I don't know all the facts about how they received the information, when they received it, at whatever year it was, and what was going on then.
Yeah, I don't know all that either.
So I can't say. I can only think about why they may or may not have included it, but I'm not going to give that to them. I'm not going to go in on them and say, he's a bitch, and for whatever reason. Oh, but I will let you know if that's what I think about you. If I will do that. Like, I'm not like afraid of anybody else. Come on now.
So yeah, here's Spill the Crime Tea says TPD or law enforcement won't cut clips. I noticed there was a piece missing when I saw Dateline. There was almost 1 hour of things cut from Jeff Lacoste's interview. That's why I requested it. She got it. I mean, we were all like shook when that unedited one came out.
When I saw that, I thought that was originally available. I didn't know that. With Jeff Lacasse, I watched a lot of his interview in July of 2014 and some of the March of 2015. Not the whole thing.
Oh, you got to watch that, man.
I know, and I really should, but like, I'm not like a person that just listens to some of the information. I let everything play in its entirety, but I tend to like figure things out when I'm not directly focused on them. So like,
no, I agree. I totally agree.
I'll be doing my work, and I'll listen to an interrogation or something like that, and I'll pick it. I'll be like, whoa, wait a second, and then I'll notice something.
That's exactly how I do. Thank you, Mr. C. Like I'll be doing stuff, whether it's laundry or whatever, and I'll have my AirPods in, and you hear different things. Or I'll play it while I'm driving, and you hear totally different things because you're not watching the video. And all of a sudden, I'll pick up on something. I'm like, what was that?
Yeah.
It's kind of like in the recording when Donna says to Charlie, I think it involves the two of us, At one point, you can hear her, and I have this in one of my videos. She says, gibbers. She says it. And I never caught it in a video, but I was driving and listening to it on my Bluetooth, and I about wrecked my freaking car because I'm like, she just freaking said gibbers. But it's never been shown in court. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's a lot of their I've listened to a lot of the phone tap stuff between Charlie and Katie, and Charlie and Donna. But I guess I listen to them differently because I don't listen for really incriminating things. I listen for, how can I put this?
Just like details or
Like details that give me more insight to the timeline. So like when they're talking about, how Donna said that on the phone, she's like, maybe the two of us, and she said that real weird.
mm-hmm.
That told me
Mm-hmm.
that whatever was at that very moment when she's talking to him, that whatever that dude said to her, the undercover, said something that would only resonate with Charlie and Donna.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that undercover said, or in the document and in person, like face to face, there was something in there that would resonate with everyone involved.
Mm-hmm.
So when Luis said the $5,000 he got it from the lady, meaning Wendi, the undercover wanted $5,000. Talking about my brother who's in jail. Now, Latin Kings call their other, their people, they call them brothers. All right. So like he's hinting that he's a Latin King, but I mean, appearance wise, he doesn't strike me as one.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's talking about, he's using these terms that from a law enforcement perspective, Donna would hear, but it wouldn't resonate with her unless she conveyed that same information verbatim to someone else.
Mm-hmm.
So like the $5,000 is something that Sigfredo received from Wendi. The $5,000 as something from 2014 didn't resonate with Donna and Charlie. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's something from Wendi to Sigfredo.
Right.
Everything in that encounter in April of 2016 had something that would make everyone in that group, if they heard it, like, oh shit.
Right.
So it's not only they
like
know the bigger picture, they know the more specific compartmentalization between Sigfredo and Wendi and all these, and that's scary. Like the feds do that. They'll put something in a probable cause affidavit that lets you know, oh, we got all y'all.
Mm-hmm.
We know what all y'all doing. And unless you've been there, you don't really know what that feels like. But it's a Xanax buffet moment, and you're going to be right up at the table.
Right.
I'm telling you, if you see some document that hints at something, it's not going to give you all the information, but it will hint at something that'll let everyone know y'all are fucked.
Yeah. I love that. Everyone's saying we need to do, or you or me or whoever need to do a video on all the code words. There are a ton.
Right. This is how you know they're gonna get these people.
Mm-hmm.
Real people who have a high level of criminality. There is no code.
Mm-hmm.
What most people consider code is like, if I say one word, it means this pronoun or this noun. No. If you say one thing, it could be, all right, so what you perceive as code words for people who are really out there committing crimes regularly, there is no real code.
Mm-hmm. Right.
What you consider like how people talk like in the street or who are in the street shit, it's more like an aggregate of subtle references. It's not a code. So when Luis talks about how he saw Wendi on Thursday, when he talks about her, how he saw her on Friday, he doesn't say, I saw her on Friday. He just says, I remember when I saw her and I remember her walking with her kids. That's why a whole lot of y'all did not catch that and still think me and Leslie B are crazy for thinking that that Sigfredo and Wendi have met up.
Mm-hmm.
He said it in his own way. I caught it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Leslie didn't catch it the same way, but if you really listen to him, he's telling you everything and that how he was suspicious of them. He just has his own way of saying that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, for me, it was very obvious. For a lot of y'all and a lot of other people who were, make YouTube videos, there will be a day when y'all will come back in our comment section and tell us, no, you're not gonna do that. But like
they might.
I'll be waiting. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a live stream when this shit all comes down and the probable cause affidavit. I'm just gonna be like,
yep. Yeah, because why would he make that up? Why would he say, "Oh, I saw Wendi and the kids"? I mean, he wouldn't. What's the point?
There's no point, and
right.
That's
mm-hmm.
Luis is already. If you look at the bigger picture, Luis has already, his reputation in the criminal world is very low. When someone like him was seen way higher. Like, I didn't know about this case in 2014, 2015. I learned about this case when those niggas got arrested in 2016.
Wow.
When the Latin Kings got the RICO indictment,
mm-hmm.
I had to work on that, and I was like, "Oh, they're doing RICOs on Street Kings? What the fuck? Oh no, this is become bad news." So I didn't know about Dan Markel until a few years ago, and my girl was telling me like, "You should look at this." She's into true crime, but she's not like how I am, where I try to figure shit out. So she'll bring up a case and be like, "I think you'd like this," and I saw Tuto and Tato. I was like, I know these niggas. I know who these people are. I knew exactly those names. They're in the documents. Like, I know you say Sigfredo's not a Latin king, but the feds don't know that. There's not like an official company,
mm-hmm.
Directory. Like, if you're around them enough, they think you're one of them.
I had so many people come at me. They're like, Sigfredo is not in a gang.
Look, that
they talk about him being in a gang in prison. So
I don't know what I never looked up. I mean, I learned a couple things as far as like the things he's dealing with post conviction. He's gotten in a couple altercations with weapons.
Yeah.
With weapons. So why that is, I don't know. But Sigfredo not being an official gang member does not keep him outside of the scope of the FBI when they're investigating the Latin Kings. If you're someone that's involved in criminal activity and you are around a gang enough, they think that you're part of that gang.
Right.
Especially the Latin Kings, because they take everybody. It says it's by name, it's Latin Kings, but it's the most equal opportunity gang you can be a part of. You black, you white, you Asian, you Italian, it does not matter. It's just a name. It's if you're around them enough, they want you over there with them, especially if you generate money. Sigfredo, him not being like an official member of the Latin Kings makes sense because Sigfredo is super violent. And if he's part of the gang and he has to take direction from a whole bunch of people that say, "Oh, kill him," he'll kill him.
Mm-hmm.
But Luis not wanting him to be in the gang makes sense. They're friends from 5 years old. You're not going to be a part of this because I don't want other people using your split-second violence for their needs. Y'all think of it as, oh, he's not a member of a gang. I think of it as, this is not, gang life is not for Sigfredo because he's too much of an asset for a gang, for him to go and shoot people, because this ain't Sigfredo's first rodeo.
So let me ask you this. Do you think there was a trip, somebody's asking, before June with another Latin King person?
I don't know if he was a Latin King member, but I know I'm pretty sure that he was someone that needed the money. That would do it not because that's what he's known to do, but he'll do it because he needs it. And I think it's that one guy that was arrested on June 2nd. And he was the first person interviewed for this case in December of 2014. And he was already in prison. If he's the first person that was interviewed outside of like the main people, it's because they know that there's a connection there.
Mm-hmm.
He was arrested for attempted burglary on an occupied dwelling, which is home invasion, which is what would have happened if Dan actually got out of his car and walked into his house.
Right.
So if you put that together, I think Sigfredo didn't want to actually kill a person. She said Hebrew. All right, Hebrew died in Rhode Island. All right. I didn't know. I wasn't aware of that. And Hebrew, which is I guess what his nickname was, Hebrew means like someone from like the country. It's kind of like Hebrew is, all right, redneck to white person, American, Hebrew to Puerto Ricans.
I got that analogy.
Okay. It's kind of means like the countryside. Like, so I don't know how, but some people say like they'll call you a Hebe if you don't really speak English well. But that's like, that's something else. But
interesting.
I think that this guy was definitely mentally ill, because like when he got arrested, he was sent to the psychiatric facility.
So this comment, I would like to hear someone talk about the time they got stopped by the cops. They were drunk and high, but the cops let them go. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't that because they were on like a federal watch list, and so they were told let them go?
Yeah,
that was for the RICO case.
That's my opinion. But if that happens, that lets you know. Okay. If I were doing wild shit, okay, and I were driving with a suspended license, with guns in the car and drugs in the car, and a cop pulls me over because I didn't have my seatbelt on and says, "Put on your seatbelt, I'll let you go." That's it. That lets you know you're not going to jail now, but you're going to go to jail because the feds are on you. I'm sorry, you may or may not believe me.
Well, the
That's
feds
a real
Trump
thing.
state, right? I mean, yeah.
It's a real thing. Like, we're the local law enforcement will not interfere with a federal investigation. So if you're doing something and you're super guilty of it and they just let you go, that tells you the feds are on you. And that's why Luis said, you know what? We should turn around. And this is the other thing. Sigfredo didn't tells Luis that he got pulled over the day before in the other car.
Oh, right. Yeah.
That's a huge violation. If you're gonna do something, any kind of illegal, and you've recently had an interaction with law enforcement, and you don't tell them, oh no, this is I can damn near guarantee you, it's one of the main reasons why Luis flipped. Because there's so many things that led up to this that should have been conveyed to Luis, because Sigfredo put him onto this job to run the whole show. And when he put him onto that job to run the whole show, he's supposed to tell him everything that led up to it. And one of the things that Luis doesn't really say directly, but he was at the Yardbird thing watching them eat dinner. But that was before the other guy got arrested. So Luis didn't know the context of why he was there.
What was the other guy's name again?
I'll just say his name was Jorge. Oh. I'm not gonna put his whole name out there, even if he passed away. Like, he's not part of it because he wasn't arrested for it. I'm not gonna say all that. But Luis back in March was not part of that conspiracy. So if Sigfredo took him to Yardbird in their work truck and they're watching these people eat dinner, from Luis's perspective, he's looking at it like this guy is super jealous and he's stalking this girl who's cheating on this man with the dentist. Now, fast forward, he sees her on Thursday, July 17th. You think he forgot what Wendy's frail body looks like walking down the street? Remember this. Luis is a nigga that can't read. He reads people. He's looking at the whole situation. That was really the second time he saw her. So looking at, like, if you're looking at it from Luis's perspective, sitting in that room, and he's learned, there's stuff that, of course, that we're not going to know, but that Luis knows from his attorney, and, you know, whatever he's got to be told to start getting involved in activities, all right? Whatever they're going to tell him more things. Like, you got pulled over the night. They know what it'll take. Your boy got pulled over the night before he picked you up and he switched cars and then he had you drive. Oh, how do you feel about that? That shit, this man's already in jail for doing 12 years for a drug-related offense. And it's like, damn, I didn't even want to do this shit. I told this man we should turn around. And he was right. When he said, we're going to turn around, we should. He suggested Sigfredo, we're gonna turn around, and Sigfredo's like, man, fuck that, we up here. Like, that kind of, to learn later on that he didn't want to turn around, tells Luis that he knew that he, like, in learning how he got pulled over, that probably ate at Luis's soul for that. They'll tell you all kinds of stuff. Oh, your friend did this, your friend did that, and he said this. They'll say that. They don't have to always tell the truth, but they can say that. I'm telling you, like, Luis, I bet you Luis was heartbroken with that. And he's like, man, fuck that. I'm not going to jail for life or possibly a death sentence for this shit.
Yeah.
Luis's gangster levels up there.
So what's he going to do when he gets out of prison?
I don't know, because
are they gonna be after him because he snitched?
I wouldn't say that. Like, people snitch a lot now. back 20 years ago, I couldn't have. I literally just cannot sit here and just like even imagine one of my friends snitching on me. It takes nothing to shut your fucking mouth. It takes nothing. The only thing you should say is, "Take me to jail."
Right.
Don't even get in the that situation with them where they can interrogate you. Now, it's shit. It's bad. The streets are a myth now. It's like people, the snitching is crazy. Like I don't know. I think what I've noticed, like when I read comments, people say, "Oh, Sigfredo should talk, or he should do this, or why didn't he just say?" Listen, snitching is the worst form of
Right, but I
betrayal.
thought that was like you don't break that code or else they're going to take
It's
you
not
out.
even it's not even a code. It's
Well,
it's like, oh,
yeah.
I get it, but I'm telling you, this is what snitching is. A snitch is someone who makes the conscious decision to break the law for their personal benefit, and then assist those who enforce the law for their personal benefit. That is a snitch. You don't do police work. I've never had so I never read my paperwork and said somebody's name and that's redacted. Say something. Nah. Fuck that. Now?
True Crime Wi-Fi wants me to play this. Hold on real quick.
Let's talk about a woman who had a child with a millionaire who's now serving life for murder. And yet, instead of facing reality, she's attempted to sell us a fantasy by stealing photos from a foreign model's Instagram. So that's really you, Brie? Then who's this? You removed the real person's tags and tagged yourself.
Stop it. Get some help.
Was that? Well, hold up. It didn't play on my end, but was it the one with?
Sorry. Look at this.
Yeah.
How did you do that?
I got skills. I'm a professional.
Look at that. That is crazy.
I do that. That was like a year or so ago. I'm smoother than that now. You won't have any kind of distortion on the sides. I can make that shit look.
It looks good.
Thank you. Yeah, like they have that dead eye psycho look.
Yeah. So that's what I did a live with Judy earlier. It was part 2, but I compared Wendi and Elizabeth Holmes.
I don't think they're the same type of psycho, but
oh, you're right, yeah.
But Elizabeth Holmes, she's
crazy.
She's definitely on some other shit. Like, but I think obviously I think they're similar if I morph their faces that way, but I think actually they are both in terms of I think they're dangerous in different ways, but at the same level.
Right.
That makes sense. Like you can convince millionaires and billionaires to funnel money into your company for some machine that's supposed to. All right, look, I'm not like an expert in anything, like on paper, but Theranos analyzing all kinds of diseases on one drop of blood. I know that there are certain diseases that take up more space within a drop of blood. Like, it's crazy. Like, if you have like one drop of blood that you get at Theranos, and they can do a whole assessment of one drop of blood. There are like literal diseases that take up more space than that drop of blood allows.
Right.
So it's right there. I'm like I said, I just read a lot. I'm not saying I knew all this was gonna happen this way, but I'm surprised it got this far with her. Really surprised. Meghan Markle, and he have a triad of narcissists. Meghan Markle's that's a crazy female, and she acts like she's like the next Diana being targeted because of her race. No, it's not because of your race, because if you're just an evil monster and everybody sees it. You ever seen have you seen the clips that show Meghan Markle's like psycho face where she like her mask slips?
No.
You need to watch that shit. She puts Wendi and Elizabeth Holmes to shame. Like, she has this like look that's like she's gonna kill you immediately. Like, just put like Meghan Markle mask slipping.
Okay.
What's up, winners? On this channel, we learn to see true manipulation happen. This is a rare clip. Megan shoving around her mom. She gets into her angry mode. Let's check it out. Now, this was a planned event, so there is a protocol to follow. It's not an accident. All right, so her mother's out. Boom. Megan grabs her. I believe the mother was going to perhaps greet that man. Megan's boom. Look at that. The Megan box out. I don't know if that's the box out. That's the like the rocket handshake. Look, shoots her arm out first every time.
There's another one without this guy talking.
Involved, of course. Megan first. Me game.
There's like a good mix of them.
See through manipulation happening. Thank you so much, anonymous fan from India, for sending this over.
Well, I'll find.
All right.
There's one without this guy doing the
he's all sweaty.
Like, he's cool and all, but
he's a little sweaty.
And it might be hot where he lives. I don't know. Hold on, let's see. Meghan Markle mask. I've seen a few that don't have any kind of commentary. They're just like, damn it, where the fuck is it?
Narcissistic isn't a big enough word.
Let's see what this is.
He is annoyed because this guy in an interview had to be reminded who she was, what show she's on, and she gets pissed and makes this face. I just talked about this one in another video, but this is the
it's like this. It's kind of like that.
It's not on her.
I don't know how the prince got into that girl. Like, she's not even. Jesus. There's some of these. I'm not gonna say anything about that. Like, there's some manipulation level on a whole new level.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. Y'all check out this channel too, Psychology of True Crime. It's good.
Yo, outside of if you really care about Marilyn
Meghan.
Markle, there's a channel called Knowing the Narcissist.
Mm.
And let me make sure I have that channel down. It's HG Tudor. HG, like, I don't know, Harry Gossip. HG Tudor, Tudor, Knowing the Narcissist. This dude has over 100 Meghan Markle related videos in a playlist. He's literally a sadistic psychopath in real life. So like, he breaks down this female so well. I would ask him to actually look at Wendi Adelson, because he breaks down a lot of narcissists that you don't think are narcissists. And he really shows you things and explains things in a very, in layman's terms, I should say. Yeah. Meghan, she's got an evil face. Wendi, I don't understand. I want to know, like, how did she land George?
Yeah, and she got him to leave the whole royal, like, all that. That's crazy.
That's Harry and Meghan, but like,
oh, you're talking
Wendi
about
and George. I want to know, like, how on earth? Like, I can understand how they met based on his job title back a couple years ago, but there has to be something that, because he's into the cybersecurity, and he was into that for Amazon, so he's good with computers.
Mm-hmm.
So you got Google, and you Google Wendi Adelson. What is she saying to him that makes him be like, it's okay, I love you?
Yeah, good question. But he had lost his spouse, so I'm sure she manipulated him some way. Hey, what is the Ryan Cox interview? Y'all, I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is either.
I'll have to look it up. They're both widows. Yeah, Neverly. Mm-hmm. Convenient.
Hold on. I've heard that name before, but I don't know who that is.
True Crime Wifey. Wendi captured George after his wife died 5 days after her leukemia diagnosis. He was wrecked. Wow.
That's what they do. That's what they do. They will swoop in when you're at a low point and act like they're the best thing ever. That's so sinister. Like,
oh, that Ryan Cox. She was sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I was just thinking in my head, like, if that's what she did,
Ryan Cox was the lady that Wendi took the soup to and gave the clothes to, and she goes and meets with the Tallahassee PD. I have watched that. It's been a while. Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I know that name, but it's not really Ryan Cox.
Yeah, it's a lady. And she was recently divorced. She knew Dan, and Wendi was kind of manipulating her, of course. Writing, it's good to see you. John Smith was looking for you earlier. Okay. True crime wifey. George's wife was diagnosed and died 5 days later. Wendi came around months later.
I try to when I've seen when I started looking into him, I really wanted to know, like, anybody with Google can see that this is an estrogen Satan. Okay, so like, this is a problem, but against your better judgment, you just go along with this. Like, people talk about how his looks and everything. But for a man, if you're confident and you can get by without being like the most good looking dude. So like, I'm wondering, like, is this man like just like he's in a bad spot? Because that's when those type of a Wendi type female will swoop in.
Right. Well, they started dating. I think had Charlie been arrested, he was arrested. And then Charlie was convicted, and then her mom was arrested and convicted. I mean, at this point, is he not going, oh boy?
It's confusing to me because I look at him and I'm like,
yeah.
If he must be like his children, so he's. I just don't. I literally just don't. How tall is he? Is he tall?
He looks tall to me. I would guess 6
something. All right, he's good enough. But not to get like too into this man's looks, but your mouth is a faux pas for her family business, bro.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but like, your smile is the antithesis of the Adelson fortune.
But see, that's all part of Wendi's MO. It makes her look that much better.
That's amount under female. I can understand like where a somewhat cute girl would like to be around non like good looking girls to make themselves feel better. I've seen that, but like, do you think she's just doing that so he doesn't have any other options? Like, oh, I know you can't get better than this. So
that's a good question. I mean, he's older than her, like what, 8 years or something. But I doubt in Miami many people were wanting to date her at this point. But it's the power of the what.
It is look, there's no power if it has like super high kilometers on that shit. Okay, there's no power with that.
Right?
Nobody looks at the whole facts and sees like 300,000 kilometers and it's like, damn, that's some powerful. No, I think she has to go for guys that don't really have options.
Right. I mean, if you look at like most of the men she's been with, I mean, have you ever seen what that guy look like? Dave? Did you ever see what he looked like? The one Donna and Charlie were trying to put him with?
No, I didn't actually. Have I seen?
I got it.
Hold on. I think I may have seen him. There were some names that I saw that.
Yeah.
Her taste in men is really crazy. It's just anybody.
It's just attention. I've known girls like this.
Yeah, I know girls that really want attention really bad and they don't care who it is. I know girls that really want attention really bad if the guy makes a certain amount of money. Like all kinds of females are weird in that regard, but like some women like if a man, in their opinion, can't get